Welcome to the Point 101. I'm your host, Gail, and today we're diving deep into a topic that touches the heart of every parent and guardian: God's promises for our children. Join me. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Sledge here with my little brother, Sweet Lips, the
Hello,
sweet
everyone.
of the West.
Hello.
How are you all doing? How are you all doing? Hope all is well. And today we will continue on with God promises for our children and moving it into the village. As I said before, we need to bring the village back and we need to implement new ways, different parenting styles, especially in this day and time. Whereas that old school, I came from old school, and you almost gotta knock a child out to get them to listen to you. Like, that is not the way. It's not working. It is not working anymore. So we need to discover new ways to communicate with our children. And so, as we said before, this is not a thing of pointing a finger to say that someone is a bad parent. That's not what we are doing here. What we are saying is, let's try new ways. Let's
hmm
try new ways. Let's people, oh, I don't want to read a book. I don't need a book to tell me how to raise my use the book. That's what I want to say. Use the book. If there's no communication and there's no type of structure there for that child, then we are doing an injustice to our children. And then we push them out the door and expect them to be productive. And what they are really are angry people.
hmm
Angry. They're angry because when it's all said and done, you know, really, some of them never had a chance. They never had a chance. They never stood a chance. So when you're there browbeating, embarrassing, and doing all of these things to your children, guess what? Those angry souls go out that door. And what you have done to them is what they are doing to others. So if you never, forgave them or allowed them to express themselves when they go out the door, and they don't know how to communicate with someone, or if someone said sorry, they don't understand, like, no, why would I give you another chance? None was given to me.
hmm
And so basically, we're just trying to change that narrative and just giving little ideas and suggestions on what it is that you can do to just show some love, some kindness, some patience. And we all get it that, we all going through something. Everyone's going through a little something. But when you do not take the time to show your child how to function in society, then you are doing them injustice. And the next thing you know, your child, you know what they say, it's it's either jail or the grave. Those are the options
Right.
that you leave them with. It's jail or the grave. So, Sweet Lips and I, we love the children. Uncle Sweet Lips, Auntie Sledge, we say we have to bring the village back. And if you know someone that is struggling, whether it's mentally, financially, you know, Lend a helping hand. Lend a helping hand. It's obvious that, our economy, things going on around us, some of it is just out of our control. But we need not make our children suffer for it. Okay? So when you're there cussing them out, pushing them down, talking down to them, just remember what they see at home is what they will do in the streets. So don't make it so that someone else's child cannot enjoy their lives because, just one second, guys, because suddenly yours is in a bully stage and all they want to do is take their frustrations out on someone else. And we're just here to say enough is enough. A change is coming, and we need to be the change. We need to be the change. So, Uncle Sweet Lips over there, Auntie Sledge over here, we are the change. Okay, I'm gonna put that WhatsApp number in for the ones. Hold on. For the ones that would like to join us, there is the WhatsApp number. And the ones that want to come on the live, you don't have to have your face on it. There's a lot of people who always worry about that. Like, I don't want to be seen. But you don't have to be. All you have to do is just, if you follow this app, there's a stop camera button, and you use that button to turn your cameras off. Just 1 second here while I turn this here phone on. Because we need to keep LA in our prayers. You hear me? We need to keep them in there. They are going through it. And we need to keep praying for them, and pray for the families that lost their loved ones. A couple of firefighters lost their lives, and, it's just an unfortunate event that happened. And, whether it's an act of nature or someone else's, let me not even put that thought in my head, but we need to continue to pray for recovery. And, even though, losing a home is devastating, but if you still have your life and you can sit there and call someone and say, I am fine, I am safe, thank God for that, because some did not make it out alive. And when it's all said and done, and I'm just speaking for myself, sometimes we just look at things and, it could be also a way of the Father is telling us to, stop putting all of our, emotions into materialistic things. Like when it's all said and done, yeah, we have this big old fancy house, and we have, luxury cars, and we have, good jewelry. Let me tell you something, and this is just what I truly believe myself. When you are blessed with all of those things, and suddenly, out of your control, these things are taken from you, the Father will bless you with double. He will find a way, because he is a way maker. He turns the impossible to possible. and all that he has granted you, you will get that tenfold. So
Amen
when
to
it's
that.
all
I
said,
believe that.
yeah, when it's all said and done, it's like, just pray, and you just have to leave it in the Father's hands that, he's going to find a way. He's going to find a way, especially when you're doing his work, his will, and you've been donating to the less fortunate. And some of us, we can get a big house, a big car, and our heads just swell up, and we think we're bigger than everybody else, and everyone else is just the peasants, and um, you're just some poor, useless person. And so when you go on through life like that, then there's just some things that we have to surrender. There's just some things that you have to surrender back because you did not carry out his will and his word. But for all of those that is doing the work of the Lord and praying and doing right and living their lives, you know, not perfect because no one's perfect, but you will get that back. He will build you back up bigger and stronger because he's not done with you. And you have a lot of work for him to do. So, with that being said, prayers for LA. Because when it's all said and done, the judgment is his, the call is his. And, you just have to believe, and you want to believe in your heart to heart that he's a loving father and that he would not want to take away from you unless you have taken away from him. And I just truly believe that. Like I said, that's just my thought, my words. And when it's all said and done, Father, protect them, guide them. We cannot say bring some type of closure because they're still going through it, but guide them and heal them, heal their hearts and heal their minds. And it's for us to embrace that. When it's all said and done, we're here temporary, and everything that we have is temporary. It's temporary. It is temporary. But I just also believe that at this moment, as I said, on New Year's Eve, those who, watch our New Year's Eve session, and I said, there's a storm coming financially, spiritually, and politically. There's a storm. And here we are in a storm. But that too shall pass. And like I said, whatever is lost will be recovered. With God's will and his timing, it will all be recovered. So let's just keep praying that the numbers of the deceased does not go up. Because a house you can replace, but a life you cannot bring that back. The only person that can bring that back is Jesus himself. Good evening, Marie. Good evening. So when it's all said and done, let's continue to focus on the lives that are saved. And let's pray for the ones out there fighting this fire. Let's pray for all the agencies, the firefighters, whomever is into that. I don't even know what to call it at this point. Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Because the way that wind is blowing so fiercely, and I just did a reading about on when your prayers is not being answered, when the disciples woke Jesus up because there were big waves coming, and he just said, "Peace be still." He said to the waves, "Peace be still." But it wasn't the waves, it was the wind behind the waves. It was the wind that was behind the waves. And so we see the fire, but there's the wind that's behind the fire. And sometimes, we have to look at it and not always say, or think like, oh, well, this is an act of God. No, sometimes you just better believe that this is the act of the devil. Who would want to leave people devastated?
That's right.
Who would want to leave? Who would want to take someone's house, take their loved ones? It's not an act of God at all. It's not an act of God. So spiritually, this can be just the anger of Satan. Angry because he knows that his days are numbered. And to get your attention because you have not dedicated your life to him. And you have not shown him any type of what he believes is honor and respect, and you're showing it all to the Father. If you don't think that these demonic entities out here does not play a role in the weather, because if you stop and you really think about it, when I read the book of Enoch, which I will continue, if the Father created the winds and the storms and rain, sunshine, anything that represents hell is where the devil would be going. And so who would sit here and say that you have dedicated your life to me, you're living your life according to my word, so now I am going to set everything around you ablaze? Who? Why would he want to take someone's life? Why would he? Who doesn't care about anyone but themselves? The devil himself. So I say that to say this: stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. And if you have anyone that's close to you, pray for them. Pray for them. And right now, we just need to keep our prayers. Well, really, this is a worldwide thing. We need to keep our prayers for LA that's burning down. And then we need to keep our prayers for the ones that is on the East Coast, Middle East, Upper East, Lower East. We need to pray for them because they're going through a storm themselves. But it's a different kind of storm. It's a different kind of storm. So do you see how spiritually you're at someone's mercy? You're at someone's mercy. And this is why we need to pray up. This is why we need to convert these non-believers into believers, because there is nothing worse than closing your eyes, never accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And I'm just speaking from the heart of how I feel inside. So with that being said, we're going to get on with this. Yes, world prayers for everyone, everywhere. Pray. We're praying. We're even praying for the ones that's in this war. We praying for the ones that's in the war also. So we're not going to limit our prayer and say, you know what, forget Ukraine, forget Afghanistan, forget, Israel or Africa or who's ever going through a war. And let's just focus on ourselves, because that's selfish type of love. No, we're going to pray for everyone. But in our own backyard, we are going to just have a special prayer for those who's losing everything around them. So, with that being said, Sweet Lips, we're going to begin our reading,
Okay.
and let's not lose focus on the village. We are the village people. We are the village people. That's who we are. We are the village people. And what we want is we want to save our children, save them, give them a chance. Like I said, if our children are our future and they are dropping off like flies, something is wrong here. Marie said, remember 3 years ago, this time the fire in Twin Parks. Oh yeah, I heard about something like that. 3 years ago, um, all up and down and around me up in Orville, it burnt down to the ground, people running for their lives. County after county, going through what LA is going through. So, again, we're going to keep them in our prayers. We're going to keep everybody in our prayers. And we're going to just pray for a healing for the ones that have lost their loved ones and for the ones that their loved ones are out there fighting this vicious fire. And hopefully this was just an act of nature and not man-made. So I'm going to grab my phone. Sweet Lips, you can chat to them for a minute. Let me grab my phone.
Hello, everyone. This is your loving Sweet Lips. Welcome aboard. Now, this is today's words from Sweet, and it goes like this. Hope you all doing fine. Sweet Lips love you, just like you love me. Hope your family doing well. Much love to you and your family. In other words, this is the word of love from old loving Candy Man himself. And to all my people out there, the Candy Man says Sweet Lips loves you. Now that's my word of the day. Nothing but love. And to my sister out there, oh, Sister Marie, love you too, love you too, love you too. And to old Puddin' Pop, wherever you are, Sweet Lips got love for you too. And I hope you doing fine. And with that being said, now we'll rest a moment.
Again, whoever wants my brother, whomever wants him, you go ahead and inbox me. And as I said before, I don't know how long you can keep them for because you're going to have to give them back. So temporary, okay? It's temporary. Don't say I didn't tell you, okay? I can't give them to you permanently. So look at here. When you get him, enjoy him for the moment because you will have to give him back.
Yeah, I have to come back to my family, people. You only got an hour to spend with me. That's all you get. Is an hour. And if the food is good what you cook, I give you 15 minutes more.
Oh my goodness. Poor you guys. Poor you guys. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't warn you. But hey, it is what it is, okay? You can have Sweet Lips for 15 whole minutes. So go ahead and send me, DM me and let me know. Get in my box and I'll arrange that. Yeah. Yeah. And being that it's such short notice, and being that you can only have him but for so long, that means that you're going to have to give me a fee. It is the short borrowed fee, okay? That's that, and I'm just being honest. Wow. All right, guys, let me just put this here so that we can get started and give you some good old tips, okay? Again, we are the village. We are the village. We are the village. We are the village. And hold on, let me just post this to Facebook so the ones that want to just come to YouTube, you will know where to find us. You will know where to find me. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me post that there. There you go. And now let me just post it here. So the ones that want to come over to YouTube, you sure can. There I go, there I go, there I go. All righty. Now that we have that, let me share this, and I should have shared it out already. There. Let me just share it here on this other page. There you go. All righty. So we will read, okay? So we need to catch up because we have been talking other topics. And so we need to get back to this here book that's going to help us, give us some assistance here. All righty. So as you've seen the title, listen with your lips closed. And that is what I will be reading. All righty then. Marie said that this is an auction. It is whatever you want it to be. But like I said, you don't have long. Okay, so listen with your lips closed. There's a lot that can be said without ever speaking a word. When your child is talking to you, you can avoid lecturing or talking over the conversation by listening with your lips closed. You may be surprised how much your children will talk more when you talk less. Peppering the conversation with expression like and You hear that? So when your child is talking, and you know, sometimes as parents, we have a way of doing that. Like our child be trying to express something that all of a sudden we start adding what we think should be said. So let's try not to do that. Use I notice statements. Don't ask setup questions. A setup question is one to which you already know the answer and still ask the purpose of trapping your child. If that is not the truth, if you cannot think back in your childhood when your parents already knew the answer and then they were trying to trap you to see if you were going to lie or not, oh my goodness, that just brought back memories. I'm traumatized. I didn't really know. No. Did you do your homework? Did you brush your teeth? Did you clean your room? Instead of asking setup questions, use I noticed statements. I noticed you didn't brush your teeth. Let's do that now. I noticed you didn't do your homework. What is your plan for getting it done? I noticed you didn't clean your room. Shall we call in the fire department for a big hose or hire a maid with your allowance? If your child say, yes, I did, you can say, my mistake, or great, I'd like to see it. And I just think that is so true. Ask that question, because a lot of times we come off accusing. And knowing that if someone accused us, we would feel a way. So just because they're the child don't mean that they don't feel a way when you're trying to accuse them. Yeah, no more setup questions. Okay, so the ones out there doing that, don't do it. Say, I notice. Because what you want to do is open a line of communication with your child. Now, if your child is deceiving you, work on the power struggle or revenge cycle. Read about the 4 mistake goals of behavior below. You hear that? Work on it. Work on it. Create reasonable expectations for yourself. Now, we're not talking about for the child. We're talking about for yourself. Have you noticed that once your children arrived, your time was no longer your own? You hear that? Once you push those kids out, whether it was natural or cesarean, there was no more of your time. Now you're sharing it. Today's parents try to be super parents. You hear that? Today's parents try to be super parents, involved in every aspect of their children's lives. They want their kids to be involved in activities and excel at school, have healthy self-esteem, and be protected from the trials and tribulations of life. On top of this, many parents are single parents or working parents or both. They may be parenting children from different families as a result of divorce and remarriage. They could be living at home with their parents or have their adult parents living with them, which is going on right now. Because of the economy, because of the financial struggle that a lot is going through, we used to make fun of some nationalities and say, oh, it's almost 20 of them in the house. So now it's about 10 of you in the house. Now, the demands on today's parents are extreme. Hello, Cassandra. Hello, Pudding Pop. Excuse me. That's why it is important to take care of yourself. Listen to that. It is important to take care of yourself and to set your expectations lower, so you can achieve them. Well, Cassandra said, hi, sweet lips. Your house may not look like House Beautiful. You may not have time for elaborate meals. Golf and tennis may have to wait until the children are older. When you adjust your lifestyle to allow time for your children's basic needs for love, time, and training, you may not be able to get things done as quickly or effortlessly as you once could. Cut yourself some slack. And that is something that we need to remember, because we try to do it all. We try to carry all this weight on our shoulders that we put on ourselves. We set high expectations really for ourselves. And a lot of times we're doing it because we're trying to compete with someone else. A lot of times it's a competition. Oh, my sister takes her kids and she does this and that, so now I need to do it too. Or my friends over here, their kids is doing this, and then she can go do this and that. And then here you are competing with people. We said, okay, I call pickle pole just for you, sweet lips.
Hold up. Is Anita Baker on?
Anita Pudding Pop. Oh, so now it's Anita
Oh,
Baker.
okay, no. So, okay. Hey there, it's little sweet little pudding pop. Hello there, honey chocolate. All right. Much love to you there, sweet chocolate.
All righty. So,
Hey, I got to get love to my peoples. This is
all
what
right.
I'm here for. I'm here to get a love.
There you go. That he ain't called sweet lips for nothing. Cut yourself some slack. It might take a week to do what you could do in an hour, and that's fine. If it takes you a little bit longer to get something done, it is fine. Hire out what you can and delegate as much as possible. Use child care so that you can run errands without the kids. Learn to involve your family members in helping with the logistics of life. And you involve the family members that want to be involved. Let me tell you right now, as a family member, do not sit there when you know that the said person don't even like kids, and then you go and you drop your child off to a person that do not like kids. And now the kid is miserable, that person is miserable. You know you're trying to shop and get some things done, and you get 99 calls less than an hour saying, when are you coming back? So be careful. Be careful about the village. Use the village, but be careful who you use in the village. Now, take time for training them so everyone can pitch in together. Now, for more detailed information on involving others and caring for themselves and others, there's another book that they refer to. Set your house up for the children so you don't have to worry about their safety. And with that being said, we just spoke about child safety when you leave your child unattended around pets. So not only people, but around pets as well. So be careful. It's okay to limit certain activities to certain parts of the house. That is eating at the table, crayons at the table, ball games outside, rough housing in the family room, etc. Now you see how the boundaries are being established. Because a lot of times there are no boundaries. There's no structure. There's no structure. Be realistic about your budget. Know the difference between your children's wants and their needs. You don't have to buy designer clothes or vacation in expensive resorts just to fulfill your children. You hear that? And a lot of us would go out of our way if it's not a Nike on there, if it's not Adidas on there, then all of a sudden some of us is really feeling like a failure. When you can afford it, you buy it. And when you can't, you leave it alone. Now, they can learn to save and help buy those extras that they crave. It is not their birthright to be provided with TV sets, phone cards, cell phones, iPods, computers. Now, do you hear that? These are the things we would like for them to have, but that's not necessary. It really and truly isn't. And sometimes we take, again, because we're in competition, and now we try to catch up with what somebody else is doing. Or if your child come and say, so-and-so have it, so I want it. What do? Go broke getting it. Excuse me, I had to cough. Now, in fact, too many things can turn your kids into materialistic junkies. I'm reading it. Too many things can turn your kids into materialistic junkies. And let me tell you when you go too far. When you're going too far, if you have to steal it to give it to them. If you have to lie, cheat, and steal, you are doing way too much. And we all know this here day and time, our kids I'm telling you, it at 3 years old, using a cell phone. That's crazy. Like we would like for them to know technology, but again, and I'll say this and I will throw this in every now and again. And as much as we do cell phone TVs and all the materialistic things, and no one is teaching their kids how to pray, and no one is teaching their children who created the world and who took their sins to the cross. Because now, with everything being a spiritual warfare going on, it must be taught. It must be taught. Some people have different beliefs, different religions, but something outside of Robo-blocks and all that other mess has to be taught. Now, hold family meetings. Hold family meetings. One of the best ways to involve the family in the logistics of life is through the family meetings. While family members are learning how to solve problems, they are also learning communication skills, cooperation, respect, creativity, expression of feelings, and how to have fun as a family. That dynamic right there is missing in a lot of households. Everyone is doing something different. Everyone is in a different part of the house. There's no communication unless that communication is, who ate the last donut? All the milk is gone. And then even as a parent in a two-parent home, the communication that your child is seeing between the two adults in their house can't be MF this and BITCH that. Like, that cannot be the only lines of communication that they see. Oh, you cheated. Where was you? We need to take that and put it behind closed doors in the bedroom the way they used to be. Because let me tell you, back in the day, you wasn't hearing nothing unless your ear was pushed up against that door, and you better do it in a way that they didn't realize that you was at that door. That's how I found out. You just have to go to the door and listen. I'm just being honest. That's why we get to the point. That's why it's called To the Point. Let's talk about it. We're talking about it. A lot of us know that in our household, when we heard something that was going on behind the closed doors, everybody was on hush. And it was one lookout person. You go, you get the information, you come back and you tell us what's going on. And you knew, you kept your mouth shut. Now, and you start to learn after so many whippings that whatever you heard, don't take it out the house, leave it in the house. Mm-hmm. You learn real quick, okay? So now the family meetings is a time set aside once a week on the same day. A lot of sense, guys. We're giving you some good old-fashioned useful information that you can implement right now. So some families call this special time a family meetings. Other call it time for talk time or special time, because some of the family members may not find the word family acceptable, such in the newly blended family. And that's so true. When you have a blend, when you're blending two sets of kids from different parents into one, you know what I mean? You're going to have one like, that's not my, this is not my sister, this is not my stepsister, this is not my stepbrother, you know what I mean? My father just laying next to her mother. You know what I mean? Just silly things like that when a child has yet to accept something new, that there's a new dynamic in their family. So whatever you call it, it's a place where family members sit down together and talk about whatever is on their minds. Most family meetings have an agenda, usually consisting of appreciation, old business problem solving, scheduling, a fun activity together during this time. Family members can air feelings and compliment one another and have conversations. Complimenting one another, to me, is very important. To me, that is very important because if you learn how to compliment at home, then you will go outside and you will learn how to compliment your schoolmates, your teachers. But if you're all you're doing at home is fighting one another like you in a war zone or it's WWE or WWF, then you're going to go outside and that's what you're going to do. So, back in the day when we call it snap on each other. And then you go outside and you learn how to snap on other people. I'm telling you, because I used to do it. It was done to me, so I did it. I'm not going to say who used to call me Patches when my hair was falling out, but I was called Patches. But let's move on. Now, make sure there are no other distractions such as a TV or phone calls. Sit around the table in the living room. If a family member chooses not to be involved, hold on a minute. Involved. Hold the get together without them. You hear that? If one do not want to be involved, then you are to continue on. Like, they said that old saying, one monkey don't stop a show. Now, they are welcome to join at any time. Set a time limit for your meetings from 15 minutes to a half hour. Items not completed can be handled at the next family meeting. And I just think that's important. Family meetings, playing the dozens was always fun. Yeah. Now, and you hear that different word that playing the dozens is what they was calling it. Now, we said snapping on each other. Now, during the week, post an agenda, and this will help. I think, I used to watch Super Nanny, and that's what she was saying. And I just think that works. If you hold an agenda and put down what is expected from everyone during that week, then, the line of communication is there. If someone has a problem or want to question what is going on and why, that would be a perfect time to explain, because maybe you're better at, emptying the garbage or whatever, but we need to get away from because I said so. That's not really an answer. And that's the old school way, because I said so. We need to get away from that. Now, a good place is on the refrigerator where everyone can see and write on it. Use the agenda as a reminder list for issues that are important to discuss that might be forgotten by the day you're holding your meetings. In addition to serving as a reminder, the posted agenda allows you to postpone dealings with issues until everyone is present to help solve problems and figure out problems. Start each family meeting with compliments and appreciations to everyone. Everyone gets an opportunity to say and hear something positive. I think that is so important. Positivity. And so I think, at that point that they're not allowed to sit around and put each other down, because behind your back, during those little arguments that normally would take place, that is happening already. So if you have someone, calling this one fat or this one, shut up because you're bald-headed, how family little squabbles go. So, now when we get around the table, none of that is allowed. And it shouldn't be allowed. So Depending on the age and skill level of family members, you can take turns leading the meeting and writing down agreements made. After compliments, the chairperson calls off items on the agenda and helps family members take turns practicing respectful communication. Because guess what? When you're calm enough to do that at home, you're calm enough to do it in a classroom. You are calm enough to go and do that when you're at your karate class or your dance class. What you teach them at home is what they do in the streets. The easiest way to do this is to go around the table twice, giving each person 2 turns to state his or her opinion or feelings about the issue without being interrupted. Without being interrupted is very, very important, especially for the younger ones, because they would be the ones that go to school and the teacher's talking and they're talking over the teacher. They would be the ones that go to school or to a dance class and the teacher say, okay, now it's time to be quiet while I speak. And here they are talking and pushing someone else. Again, if we teach them well at home, then we would not have to worry about what they are doing. And, we're going to still worry, but it's not, you know what I mean? You don't worry to a certain degree. So if the person has nothing to say, it's okay to say, I pass. This is a good time for them to practice for their problem-solving skills by sharing their opinions, listening to feelings, and offering solutions. It is important that everyone in the family agrees before a change is carried out. Everyone is in agreement. Until you reach a consensus, you might have to live with things the way they are. In some families, what this means is that the parents decide until everyone in the family can come up with an agreeable alternative. Some subjects need to be discussed for several weeks before a family can come to a consensus. Brainstorming generates a list of suggestions without evaluation, creates more choices everyone can consider. Instead of seeking a perfect solution, suggest that the family members choose one idea from the list of brainstorm suggestions to try for a short time. Set a time to meet again, evaluate the solution, and discuss whatever everyone learned by trying it out. Family meetings work best when everyone focuses on solutions rather than blame. You hear that? So, Cassandra said we could not disrespect our elders. No. Now, this here generation, these kids right here, they all assume that if you say hi and you smile and have a little conversation with them, that they are on your level. And they're never taught none the wiser. Because the parents, it's like you're not parenting, you're speaking to your best friend. You're not parenting. So when your child go out and their teachers say, I need you to turn in your work or turn off your phone, all they know when they see an adult, like, no, me and my mom be chilling. So, I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my mom. And that's not the case. Again, what you teach them at home is what they take to the streets. Now, no one should be in trouble at family meetings, and everyone should listen to and taken seriously. And that's true. If this is a safe place, if this is a safe place and a safe space for that person to speak, that child to speak their mind, then do not sit there when they're really telling you how they feel, and all of a sudden you're on punishment. Oh, if I come across this table, or they're talking and the shoe fly across their head. That's not right. And a lot of that is needed in these families today. Right. We listen and we don't judge. We listen. Like whatever you are feeling, this is a time to express it. and allow them to express it. And if they say, well, last week you said we were going to do this, and then you at the last minute change your mind, sometimes things come up. And it's like, you know what? Something very important came up and I had to take care of that, but we can do it this here week. And let me just say this, and then we will continue on from here. The things that come up, don't let that be some man promised you something or some woman promised you something. You promised your child something, and now you're somewhere, you know what I mean, trying to, do that, do. That should not come before your child. So you have to just, fit that into a schedule as well. We were not allowed to sit around adult company. No, that's what I'm saying. That's some old school ways, it works, and some old school ways don't. And I just truly believe that when you are having adult conversations with adult, children should not be allowed to interject. They should not be allowed to come into that conversation as if they were the adult, because what you're doing is you're robbing them of their childhood, because now you have pushed them into adulthood and they don't know how to fall back into being a child because they're so used to sitting around and, in and out of adult conversations. And again, what they do at home is what they will do in the streets. So we need to, again, try something new. And the first thing that we need to try is open up that line of communication with our children. Have those little family meetings. It may not be a lot to you, but then to your child, that is showing that you really care. And that's giving them the opportunity to really express themselves. And that's giving you the opportunity, even if they had cell phones, to just say, okay, you know what? Tonight is cell phone night. You have to surprise them. Like, really, at that point, you surprise them, because I'm not going to say to you, oh, tonight I'm checking phones, because then, you may start deleting things. And that's just the way of the world today. So during those meetings, you need to do cell phone checks. You need to check on their computers. Look at the websites that they're on. Because like I said, I don't understand if someone picked your child up and your child is missing, but then you look at your child's computer and say, oh, he was talking to this person, to that person. Well, had you checked the computer 2-3 days ago, you would have been well aware that inappropriate conversations was going on. Until it comes back on you. Right. So, again, we are giving these little tips. We are just providing alternative solutions to what you are used to, and saying that the old school way, with how these children are acting now, getting together to go and, break into stores and, just wanting to bully, whether it's, cyber bullying, I was looking at this, it was this on my news feed, and the woman was saying that her child, he was 15 years old, that he had came out to them to say that he was gay, and they accepted it. Like, okay, so he didn't tell anybody, or he didn't tell his peers until 3 months later, he told his peers. And one day she came home and her 15-year-old unlived himself afterwards. So, and that is why I said, this day and time, we need to put a limit on all of this, playing the dozen, talking down to each other, or looking at someone's agenda or their religion, and suddenly your child becomes a bully because you never taught your child that he will come across someone that's different than he is. And he is not to make fun of that child. And that because, you're a Catholic and that person's a Muslim, that means that something is wrong with them. Or because that person like girls and this one don't like girls, he like boys, that there's something wrong with them. And so, you ostracize that person and you start to separate yourself from that person and you start name calling. Like, these are the conversations that we need to have around our table when we're holding family meetings. And they need to know if you're white and a person is black, that does not mean you treat them a certain way. Because like I said, hatred starts at home. Because the first person that they learn from is their parents. So again, as we continue to try to bring some type of sense into this world that everyone is trying to survive in, we as parents owe this to our children. We owe it to our children. We owe it to our children to let them know also that, someone created this world for you to live in, and you're to live in it in peace and with love and with patience and with kindness. So with that being said, we thank you for allowing us to just share, because when it's all said and done, Auntie Sledge and Uncle Sweetlip said we need to bring this village back, and we need to have new ways of parenting so that every day in this world right now, every day there's a child being buried. And a lot of times it's the act of a parent. It's more so the parent now than strangers. Again, if you see someone that is suffering and you see someone that need a break, and you have love, patience, and kindness in your heart, and you mean well, be that village. So thank you, Marie. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you for the silent ones.
Well, thank you, Sugar Pops.
Yes, Sugar Pops. Pudding Pops.
She's Pudding Pop. She's all that.
Oh, yeah, all that.
Yeah,
no chips.
Hey.
No chips.
She showed much love. Every time you turn around, she's here. And we thank you all for joining us. We thank Marie for joining us. Sister Marie, all right now. And one day, let Sweet Lips say this. One day, we all going to join together. Sister Marie, Pudding Pop, Sugar Pop, Honey Pop, whatever you want to call it.
Sweet potato pie.
And Sister Gail, we all going to join together and meet up one day, who knows where. And we're going to enjoy ourselves. I would like to look forward to something like that.
Yes. And when we put that WhatsApp number in, by all means, do call in. Do call in. So I forgot to put the app in. Okay.
Once again.
Let me just show you what the app looked like. Okay, don't use it now because everybody getting off.
And I just want to say that, honestly, I really wish that we all really can get together. I think that we would enjoy ourselves. We would sit down and have so much fun because we all are in the range of, hey, you know what? We getting up there. We got love for each other. We enjoy each other's company, especially when we on here. So, let's make this happen. Yo, come on out here and visit us. Come on out here to California, this good sunshine, and visit us.
Pudding Pop said, I want to see your face, Sweet Lips. Oh, Sweet Lips, she want to see your face.
She said that?
Did you read down there? I want
No.
to see your face, Sweet Lips.
Oh, you know, hey, I get the fans what they want. You know, here I am. Here I am. In the flesh, baby. Here, Sweet Lips right here. Here. There you go. There you go. Give the people what they want. I give the people what they want. I give the people what they want. See, I come from behind the camera. That's how much love I got from my peoples. Now you see me. Now you don't. This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
And with that being said, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get out of here.
Y'all have